Hi everyone, the Peace Bear here. Thank you so much for checking out my last video on my ERxMtG Marika, the Eternal EDH deck. The response I've had has been absolutely overwhelming. It's been really amazing to have so much positive feedback in such a short amount of time. This project was born out of an idea I had after I'd been inspired seeing some other proxies that other people had made. I saw like Baizuki's Bloodborne themed commander deck, and I just thought it was an awesome idea. And once I'd got an idea of what kind of tools I could use to do the templating, I just started to make a couple, made some, hilarious mistakes, started again, worked out templating, flavor text, things like that. Started collecting art assets, and then just started thinking of cards I wanted to make, really. This video is a little check-in. I've not had much time to do a video update for you guys, so thank you for your patience. I've had so many amazing emails from people contacting me saying they like the project and want to know more about it. They're interested in getting into proxying. I've really enjoyed responding to those. For everybody asking for copies of the decks, I really appreciate you getting in touch as well. The deck's not going to be available for release yet because I'm changing some of the formatting on the cards. So I've got a backlist to work through where I am correcting the rules text in them because there was a part of the formatting that I didn't initially realize. And that's when you're using the Universes Beyond formatting or the Godzilla nickname, where the card name has been altered, the rules text must also refer to the same card name. So even though I've written what the original card was, so this is Mikola the Unalloyed, Elish Norn, the Argent Etchings, the rules text still refers to the card as Elish Norn. I'm now changing that so it refers to the card as Mikola the Unalloyed. I think this will reflect better on the final cards, and since I started playtesting with my friend, I certainly like the role-playing of the Elden Ring nature of the cards more when I can refer to the cards by their title. Originally, I thought I'd refer to the card by its original name at all times during gameplay for ease of transition for players that aren't familiar with the altered art. But I've decided that actually, if I'm reading the rules to the card to a player who still doesn't recognize the card, if the card doesn't refer to itself by name, that becomes more confusing for that player than just understanding what the rules mean. So that's why I'm going through, and I think about 25% of all cards I made refer to themselves by name. So these are the ones that I'm working through. You see, it says Teferi's Protection, and I want it to say Protection of the Erdtree instead. Anyway, it's given me a bit of extra homework, which means it's not going to be ready yet. And even though I'm not beholden to any of you to release it, I would like to give it away, and I'd like to give it away for free. And my initial suggestion was when Shadow of the Erdtree comes out. So I have been very grateful that I bought myself some time. It's not going to be 4 months, but it's going to be a couple of weeks at least. That I would prefer not to be asked when it's coming out. Just keep an eye on my YouTube channel and I will announce when it's available. What I wanted to show you here was some other parts of the main 100 card deck that I showcased last time that I didn't make clear. And some people asked me about the flip Phyrexians, and they said, wouldn't it have been easier to use different cards to represent these creatures? And I kind of understood their point, but my thematic reasoning was I wanted a set of Empyreans that all had the potential to become the god. So Marika's defined by being a creature on one side and an enchantment on the other. And I noticed that all of the Phyrexian Praetors represent their ideals as creatures. So if I made them all Empyrean, then they all have a chance to flip and become an enchantment temporarily before becoming the creature again. In this way, I got to thematically roleplay the design of each creature slightly deeper. But I didn't show off what was on the rear side last time that I showed the cards. So I think Melania here as a green creature is a really good choice because green's associated with unbounded growth and strength and might. And what we see with Melania is that even though she's a warrior, she might be associated with blue through her blue dancer sword skills, or she might be associated with red with her Mars-like aggression and fighting. Really, you know, at the heart of the Scarlet Rot is blossoming growth and life and vitality and green energy. And I thought quite fittingly her ability suited the idea of marching across the lands between, searching, finding forests, searching for lands, looking for Mikola, or at least searching for General Radahn to battle him in Caelid. And Trample and Reach seem quite good keyword abilities for, you know, a master fighter who's just an absolute powerhouse. Anyway, Melania flips into Scarlet Bloom Flowers, and I thought this would be a good representation of her transforming into the goddess of Rot. So we got mill 10 cards, put up to 2 creature cards from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. So this is like her Aeonian Bloom, which spawned all of the Melania clones, like Millicent and her sisters. Distribute 7+1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. I see this as just the unbridled growth of vital energy of the Scarlet Aeonia, of the blossoming flowers. All of them get strong equally through growth. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain pay 1. This creature fights target creature you don't control. So this is just like giving everybody the Waterfowl Dance ability. Anyway, that's how I was thinking about it. You know, of course, I'm making it all up in my head and associating lore reasons. But I did enjoy imagining each of their kind of like... I didn't want them to be like game ending effects because they flip back over into their creatures. So I tried to represent the flavour of their rear sides to be their kind of aspirations or their journey towards godhood rather than the destination itself. So we got Rani, Search for the Dark Path. With Melina, she of course meets her untimely end at the Forge of the Giants. So we have represented as first cardinal sin, which might be in fact the second time that the cardinal sin has occurred. With the burning of the Erd tree, possibly we had a physical tree once upon a time that was burnt initially. I kind of like that idea from Tarnished Archaeologist. Then for the Glowmite Queen, of course we have no representation of the Glowmite Queen except for Melina in the Flame of Frenzy ending. So my key for the base set, there's so much amazing community artwork, but my key plan for the base set was to use only art by From Software on as many of the cards as possible. Now I do have 4 enchantments that use community artwork that I've used without asking for permission, so I'd really like to try and get in touch with those people. I haven't been able to so far, but I felt like the Rune of Death was a good placeholder for the Glowmite Queen until we get a depiction of her. On the back we do have Melina in the Frenzy Flame ending with "To deliver you what is yours." And again, I've used screenshots from the game for all of these rear sides because I couldn't find the depiction I wanted. I was slightly unsatisfied with the rear side for Mikola. It's of course young infant Mikola cradling the Halig tree bud in his hand, and it's watered with blood. And I felt like this was quite thematic. The incubate tokens I designed to look like the cocoons from the Halig tree. It's a little bit hard to see in there. But we have the sacramental bowls surrounded by the cocooned creatures. That's the incubator. And then it flips into what we see plenty of in the Halig tree, the Kindred of Rot, as the tokens that go with watered with blood. So that's the flip Phyrexians. And I've already made versions that use community art. So I have a variety of all art skins for them. that looked really, really awesome, and it was just such fun playing around with the different looks you could have to tell those stories that aren't depicted in game. Then with the Elden Ring cycle, of course, I didn't put the Elden Ring watermark on the Elden Ring itself, but everything else that is the Elden Ring, we've got one more. What's missing? Oh yeah, Radagon. So I had a unique Elden Ring logo to go with each of those, but I also did a special Mystical Archive set of those cards that I think is just my favourite bit of design so far. It's just the 6 cards that go together. We have, it's a little bit hard to see in sleeves, maybe I'll pop them out. We have the Elden Ring, the Elden Stars and the Elden Beast. Then we have the ERxMtG, and we have Radagon and Marika. And I've used the alt art on Marika this time. This is her crucified in the ERxMtG. And Flavorfully, the two of those go really well together. And I've used this kind of unique Mystical Archive Legend crown on both of them because they can both be your commander. And then on Marika, I have an alt art Japanese version of her. And then on all the back of the single-sided cards, I also have the card as a Japanese Mystical Archive. So I made them reversible to display the Japanese text on all of those, because I am a little bit of a weeb, plus I really like the way they look design-wise. So we have my Elden Stars, the Elden Ring is the One Ring, and then this alt art of the Elden Beast. This one's a little bit dark, the printing came out a bit on the heavy side, but I really like the alternate image of the Elden Beast kind of slooping off to the side. It came out real nice on that one. Let's have a look compared to the first one. Yeah. Let's have a look here. We've got the Elden Ring. I did it in the old artifact border as well, because my initial... Where did it go? My initial one was the artifact, traditional modern artifact border, Mystical Archive border, and then I did the old artifact border, because all of the artifacts in the set, actually in this old style 7th edition border, is my favourite card border from Magic ever. It's fantastic. So I got that too. And what I didn't reveal was the back design of all my cards, which I think is very funny. It's Elden Ring the Shattering, Rune Master, and I overlaid a Magic card back and templated my font to be in all the same position as a real Magic card. And I used the different kind of font types from the game. So this is your arrival at new location. This is the game heading. And of course, this is boss defeated text. Anyway, I think that's really funny parody of the Magic card. Some of my other cards got alternate treatments too, where I had 2 art representations of a particular character. I tended to make a version of both of them. So we got some extra ones here. I have another Delighted Halfling in the alternate finger reader crone. Malekith appears as Garank, Beast Clergyman. I did... Horalu had an alternate art from his intro scene. The print came out a little on the dark side, but this is him crucified with the appearance of Grace in the centre of the card. And Sarosh is like a physical lion. Interesting depiction of him from the beginning of the game. I've also got Godfrey, First Elden Lord, with the key art from the Edge magazine cover in the pre-release of the game. I got this really nice alternate Renala, Queen of the Moon. I think I prefer this one more than the one I showed you of her hovering. And then this, in his chamber, Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, all art there. And then 2 little secrets. The first one was the missing cards from the cycle. They're the 2 last fetch lands. We have Flooded Strand and Bloodstained Mire. of course, I made full 10 card cycles for all of these. So we've got the last two fetches, got the last Shockland. Sacred Foundry, of course, is the center of the Erd tree. And then the last of the Triomes, that's what they're called. Ziatora's Proving Grounds. Crumbling Farum Azula. I don't think you saw this one, but that's my favourite art of the bunch of the Triomes. The Eternal Cities, Rafine's Tower, particularly like that as well. And Kaled, Xander's Lounge. With these, I didn't know which style I would want them in to begin with. So I actually designed the traditional bordered version before doing the full art version. And to save on card, I just printed them double-sided. So I got the gold on each of them, regular bordered print version, and I got the full art on the rear side. So I can just swap those in and out as and when I feel like it. And that's the same on the ones you saw last time I demonstrated my deck. Yeah, so I swapped everything to gold bordered sleeves. They're really, really nice. So yeah, you got your Deep Root Depths, which you may have seen, and it's just the gold bordered version on the back. Of course, it meant everything I did took twice as long because I usually wanted 2 art variations, and I'd usually do them double-sided. With Marika there as well, I also did an all-art version of Marika in the centre of the Erd tree. And this is one of the templating things. I'm going to change this to say Marika, so it says Legendary Planeswalker Marika, but I haven't done that yet. Now I need to reorder. There goes my folder on the ground. But I really like, I did a matching one for Radagon, of course, but we have statue depiction because she's trapped in the Erd tree, and then this is her smashing the Elden Ring. Also, Marika got her own tokens. I did a emblem, and I also did a token that you can put over your land to show that it's become a land creature until end of turn, and I chose the Erd Tree Sentinel because the art on it is absolutely sick. Godwin also got his own token because he turns a creature into a treasure, so I've given you a treasure token that you can put over the card that says Prince of Death's Pustule. I think that works quite well. These ones, they also got double-sided as well, full art and 7th edition border. I like the 7th edition border much more. Basics, as you saw last time, also came with reversible adventure art. Just for when I want a nice splash of full art colour instead. They're quite fun. Yeah, Smothering Tithe got a Shadow of the Erd Tree treasure for that gold. And Urza's Saga got a construct token as well, Moon of the Carians. I think I'm going to change it to Renala's Full Moon, but I was quite happy with that. Many of you said, why double sleeve proxies? Because the feel of double sleeve cards is nice and they're really thick and solid and good to play with. It's not because they're valuable, and it's not necessarily to protect them either. It's just because they look and feel nice to hold. I have changed to single sleeving currently because I am swapping a lot of the cards in and out, and I also want to do some filming with them, so I've made them easier to see, easier to access. You also want to know why wear gloves? Well, it's because I have quite stubby little fingers and I was hiding them. I had a long day at work and my hands were really grubby, and I just thought wearing gloves would be easier. But there was nothing sinister going on. It was just a practicality at the time, but it posed more questions than it answered, so I won't be doing that again. And also, thank you so much for all you hawk-eyed viewers that saw all the typos on my cards. It was really, really useful having you proofread them for me and suggest the typos that needed edit. They have now been changed in the files, and I promise I won't release anything with the wrong values on, but I have a whole bunch that were either spotted by you or found by me and they're going to be amended. So that was just the secret ins and outs of the 100 card deck that you'd already seen. But I have a whole bunch of other cards to show. I have vestiges of the Erdtree. I have remnants of Radagon. I have Dark Moon Rising, and I got the rest of the land cycles that I made, plus another 20 creatures, and some more cards coming up. And they're already printed. They're done. I just need time to film them. But I work full time. I do a 50-hour week. I commute 3 hours a day. Life's been pretty full on. I'm prepping to move house. So please forgive me if I don't have a chance to share anything sooner. But I will try and do a video a week at least, if not more. And I'm going to start uploading some of my free templates and designs, just new one-offs that I'm doing. I'll try and share them as and when I make them. They're just fun. They're just little thought experiments, nothing too serious. Not committed to any of them particularly, but I made a Mesmer the Impaler that I thought would be a cool little concept for a commander. I'd love to do one of these for Bloodborne as well. I know I could do a really nice job, but again, I'm a photographer, I'm busy, I've got plenty of other things to do. Editing wise, I can edit about 2 or 3 cards a day on my commute, and that's about it. So be patient with me. I will share them in the future. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who's been in touch. It's been so nice hearing from all of you. I never thought my video would get viewed as much as it did. You know, I don't do this for a living. I don't make YouTube videos regularly. It's like the 5th video I've ever shared, and the first one in like 13 years. So just struck gold meeting all of you amazing Elden Ring fans. And I'm glad so much of you like Magic the Gathering as well. It was a real joy to make these, and I hope to keep doing a better job with them. All the best. Bye-bye.